There are many ways to protect yourself spiritually that go beyond just like the white light and the Palo Santo or the sage or cleaning your space. Those are very useful, effective, and important, but there are some other things that you can do as well. So grounding, that's a big thing for me. Meditating, visualizing your roots, like going down through your feet into the earth. That's something that's extremely helpful. Also walking or any sort of form of movement, dancing, running or jogging, all those things help to ground. But there's also a thing you can do that I call the guide and trickster check, right? Because guides, if people are popping up in your mind's eye or during meditation or while you're asleep, so in your dreams, whatever it is, you want to know who they are. So guides are always here to empower you and to give you messages, right? But to make you feel empowered. Like, yes, you can do it. Here's the next step. Here's the thing you've got to work on. Keep going. And they're extremely straightforward. But tricksters sometimes come in and, masquerade themselves as guides, especially if you don't have your boundaries up and your foundation really strong just yet. And so you want to make sure that you question if something feels off, because if it feels off, I would suggest not engaging until you are clear about what's going on. And you can also pull back, right? So one of the statements that I use, and it's something like this, like, I do not consent. I only work with those in the light. You do not have my permission to be here. I need you to leave, right? And for the most part, they do. Another thing you can do is mirror shielding. So visualizing your aura like as a shield, reflecting back any unwanted energy back to its place of origin without any harm though, right? Because you don't want to receive something that doesn't feel quite good and then give it back in a way that's, not quite good as well. So just without harm, just send it back to its original place. You can also, of course, raise your vibration with grounding techniques. Going to the beach, going to any kind of nature will help you raise your vibration. But also doing the shadow work that crops up for you to do, right? Because high frequency repels negative energies. And so the higher your vibration, the harder it will be for those things to come into your orbit. And when you also have unhealed wounds, it leaves your defenses down and makes you more susceptible, I can never say that word, susceptible to attracting unwanted energies. And then we touched on the white light. So one of the things that I always go to real quick and easy in a meditation for quick protection is just visualizing myself in a bubble of light. It's effective, it's quick, it works. Sometimes there will be a stronger structure of light, I guess, depending on what I'm doing. If I'm working with, if I'm like giving a reading to someone else, if it's just for me, if I am connecting with other consciousnesses that I don't normally connect with, so it will depend, and I will work with my guides on beefing up the security, so to speak, as needed. So things like sage, Palo Santo, crystals, they all work, all very helpful. Even certain candles you can light, and they are, depending on the type, I don't know, you have to research it a little further because I don't really use candles for this purpose, but some people do. They will light a candle, and that candle is a protection candle, and it will attract energies that are unwanted or quote unpure in your space, right? Sound. Oh, Sound is amazing. Get you some frequencies to listen to off of YouTube. Do some singing bowls. Do the sound even with your own voice. Your own voice is amazing to help so many things. Regulate your nervous system, open up your throat chakra, help open up the channel from really here up and sometimes even down. It can like initiate altered states of consciousness. Like your own voice is such a useful and powerful tool that you always have with you. And so sometimes when I'm sitting on the sofa and I'm feeling like, maybe my thoughts have been running wild, I'll just like drop down into a few ohms, like and make the sound with my own voice, and it clears me up, right? So those things, all of them will help you with spiritual protection. But I also want to say that discernment is key and resonance is key. And I saw across the internet somewhere in a post where someone was saying, oh, these people who are channeling light language must not really be channeling light language, because when I listen to them, I feel worse than I did before. That is one of the key indicators, I will say, about, quote, light language. Light language is just like, you're that clear channel, the things that come out, the sound that comes through your voice, the words that come out of you, the feeling, right? It should make you feel uplifted. It should make you feel calm. It should make you feel sometimes empowered, but in a way that is grounded and expansive, right? That's what light language does. And so if you aren't feeling that from whatever you're listening to, then maybe you should turn it off. But also, it's tough though in terms of discernment if your foundation is not solid, because sometimes it's just a question of maybe that spiritual teacher touched on a part of you that wants your attention in order to be healed and shifted, right? So that's where the nuances or that discernment becomes really important, so that you don't run, I guess, from someone kind of shining a light on one of your shadow parts or your blind spots, as I like to call it. But again, that foundation, like shoring up your psychic and your spiritual foundation, is extremely important to helping you discern even further what is and is not for you. So I put together a 3-day challenge that starts on Friday, March 28th, and it covers all of that, in addition to helping people understand how to better use their own divine connection, as I call it, instead of relying on tools. Because I'm seeing that too. People are really going hard with the tools, and I talked about this a little before. It's very cool. It's a-okay, so long as you remember that it is a tool that is here to help you enhance your communication, but not just totally take over that communication, right? Not be the only way that you communicate, and it become a crutch. So it's really important to get your own connection strengthened, sans tools. And if you are interested, then you can find the link over in my link tree on YT. I know it's a little confusing. I've had a snafu setting it up here on TT. I submitted it and then made a mistake and it was rejected, and then I resubmitted, and it's just been like stuck in their system for weeks and weeks. I don't really know yet how to fix it. So anyway, it's there, or reach out to me an email and then I will send you the link. But I would love to have you. One of the things that I love doing is helping people like establish that foundation when they are just like really coming into their gifts. And as you know, as I know, people are experiencing lots of things right now, and so it's even more important to have that foundation as we continue like experiencing these collective and individual, shifts in consciousness, right? Shifts in ascension, these steps that we are taking here together. So